Hi, George. I don't know what to say. What a week, I guess.
What
right?
a week. What a week.
In your 40 plus years of historical observation, hands-on of the political process, pretty unique week, right?
No, I haven't experienced anything like this in those 40 years. But we've experienced deep divisions in the country and in the Congress, but not manifested as it was in this campaign. The language was much sharper and edgier. But you know, we went through the assassinations of Martin Luther King, Bobby Kennedy, John Kennedy. We had the Nixon hard hats. We had the Reagan Democrats. And I think some of that's repeated here in terms of the economics, where economic policies had not responded to the needs of families who were caught up in the recession, lost their assets, many of them lost their jobs, or they lost their homes in the financial scandals. And the government didn't really respond to look at these families and say, what can we do to help you? And I think that the backlash came, and it came in the form of the vote for Trump. And these are not bad people. These are people who are deeply concerned about the future of their families.
And I think we as a society, and I believe also we as a company, as Cengage, have an obligation to start building bridges and to start allow people to move up and to move on and have hope. As you said, they're deeply concerned about the future of their families. And I believe education plays, and I know you do too, education plays an absolutely critical role. And I loved what you said, and I would like you to repeat it, but how that?
Well, I think that the education, unfortunately, in the campaign became about affordability, the cost of college, which is a serious issue to certainly to middle-class families, working families, a serious issue. But education also looked like it was off limits for a lot of people in America, because it was sort of, if you weren't pursuing a 4-year degree, you weren't really in education, and maybe you weren't prepared to, or you didn't get the same start, you didn't do as well in high school. Community colleges were considered sort of second class. You weren't really in higher ed, as they would talk about themselves. But now we see this dramatic change after the recession. 5 million people showed up to a community college and said, I need additional skills. No, I don't need a BA. I need to know how to get involved in refrigeration. Yeah. I need to know how to get involved in chemical transfers. Yeah. I mean, still very basic jobs, but very important in the changing economy. And now it's almost like the language of this campaign was a little old compared to what we see now. And you see it in Cengage, where people are coming for certificates and credentials. They're coming to a community college, not for an AA degree, but for specific classes that may be developed by the industry in their local area that's gone to the community colleges.
Absolutely. And,
wow.
And you've heard me talk, and I will also not stop talking about it, of taking education to the students instead of asking students to follow where the students are going, go where they're going, where they live today, the circumstances that they live in. Anybody can get an education anywhere, but we need to make the system and frankly our products more accessible. And I do think we as an organization also should live and should exemplify how we can talk to each other even if we have differences of opinion. And I think you were always known in Congress as somebody who can work across the aisle, and that stands for nothing else but reaching out and finding common ground. And I think if we need anything right now, it is this ability to solve problems. And I was wondering, based on your experience, what do you think helps in that situation?
Well, I think you have to put the goal first, not the characterization, not the long-held beliefs, but what is it you want to do here?
I completely agree, and I will also say, I would extend that even further. It will get detrimental not only to the economic growth, it will get detrimental to the fabric of our society, to the discourse that we have.
Not only can we have to do that, or that does weaken the democracy. Yeah. When the country makes a decision, I don't think that decision's there. I think they sent a big warning flag to all of us in politics and in society. We keep talking about the equality of America. Well, and economically, it's not there. And you can argue it from the progressive side or from the right-wing side, whatever, how you want to do it. But the fact of the matter is, a big chunk of America is not being served. But we also know, truer than maybe any time in our history, education is a big part of getting that done.
We are frankly one of the few companies in this ecosystem that can scale solutions, right? If we bring out MindTap, we all of a sudden can touch millions of students, right? If you run any, even a large university system, you touch at best 40, 50,000 students. So I think we have an awesome opportunity, we have an awesome obligation, and I think we should see ourselves in the context of what's going on politically, but we have a very clear mission to really bring education to the students in an affordable way. Fundamentally, at the end of this week, which was clearly a very tumultuous and a very, for many people, very surprising week, I think that if we can collectively use this as both a wake-up call to challenge the way we interact with each other, as well as a reinforcement of the mission that we as Cengage are on, and that we need to double down in order to contribute to us moving forward as a country and frankly as a society around the world, I think this will go down in history as a very good week, and I sincerely hope it will.
Everybody knows my politics, but I'm really excited about this opportunity because I think it can start some conversations that we haven't had for quite a while in this country. Thank you.
Thank you.